Okay, Oval fans, another solid episode, season 6, episode 8 in due time. Also, I was wrong. I forgot that the Oval started a week after Sisters, so the season finale isn't on March 11th. It's actually March 18th. March 18th, if I remember correctly. So, my bad about that. So, in a couple of weeks, when Sisters, bows out for a hiatus, we'll still have one more episode of the Oval. So, with that being said, I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. I don't think it's as good as last week, but it was still a solid episode all around. I was going to give it an 8, but I could have done without that ending scene. I didn't need that. I feel like sometimes Tyler Perry wants this show to be on BET Plus so bad, but bro, this ain't Beauty and Black and this ain't Ruthless. We didn't need them back shots. I'm just saying. But before moving into the actual review, please take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. Hit subscribe and hit that bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. And thanks for the continued support. I was looking again at the Oval numbers. These videos are doing very well, and I appreciate all the views and the comments and the shares and whatever you do to promote the videos for me and keep the conversation going. It is not ignored. Now, we start off with Simone getting the water from the nurse, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm feeling better already. I'm thinking, yeah, I bet you are after what you did to the IV on Victoria's hospital bed. And Bobby comes in, and even though Simone keeps pestering him, he will not say a word about what occurred in the Oval between Eli and Victoria, which led to them being in the bed. And Simone is just fed up with him, like, get out, Bobby. And as soon as Bobby turns around, that's when he hears a beeping noise, and Victoria's blood pressure plummeted. So he starts freaking out. It's like, what did you do? I didn't do anything. And then he's like, look, Simone, you know I'm bugged, and you know I'm listening. They're listening to us. So you need to tell me what you did. Like, what bottle did you use? Oh, the one that's halfway, empty over there. What? So he warns you that you effed up. It's like, look, they're going to put 2 and 2 together and find out you did this. And if they do, they're going to have you arrested and you'll be locked up, and there's nothing I can do to help you. So that's why she eventually told him what, she did. And thankfully for her sake, he knows how to fix the situation and got her vitals back to normal. So after that, we go over to Donald's office, and Allan's there to pick up Lily. And she's like, look, just tell my husband to go to hell because I'm going home. But man, Allan is a stronger man than me, because Lily's like, do you think I'm attractive? What, ma'am? What? It's like, do you want me? So she gets on the desk, and like, again, he's a stronger man than me. But he's just, holding his ground. But Lily eventually finds out that just like she is, Allan is trapped in a situation where either be blackmail or whatnot. He has to do whatever Donald says. But like he says, I only keep it, professional. Like, I don't really do anything personal like that, insinuating like, hey, if you're talking about like Kyle and stuff like that, I don't get down like that. So she is just warning him yet again to watch your step with him, because he will betray you. He will like chew you up and spit you out. But he probably like doing something like that. And she just leaves, and Allan's like, what is up with these women? I'm thinking the same thing, Allan. Like, yet again, these women are something else. I think for once, Priscilla was actually the calm one. Believe it or not, she even had like a brief, and I mean a very brief exchange with Sam, telling him to, scram so she could talk to Max. But at least Priscilla wasn't on 15 this episode. She was relatively pleasant for the most part. And speaking of, she goes up to the residency, and we have Agent Isaac, Jason, and Hunter. And Priscilla wants to talk with Hunter alone, and Jason isn't for that, because Jason's like, nah. If you got something to say to one of us, you got something to say to both of us. Hunter's like, yeah, let me speak to Miss Priscilla. What? I don't want to go to my room. It's lonely. So, he eventually gets kicked out, and Agent Isaac sticks around. But Hunter and Priscilla just, talk for a bit, because she's bluffing, saying that I know you did it. And Hunter knows that she was just fishing for information. But from there, they actually discuss Victoria's scheming. And I believe Priscilla said there's a video of them having sex in the Oval, Eli and Victoria. And he's like, wait, I need that tape, because we can use that to, expose them for the affair and trying to, boot me out of the power. Because Priscilla brings up the fact that, you know, Victoria is going to do whatever it takes to remain in power. Like, even if you're not the one in office, Hunter, she will still find a way to maintain first lady status, even if it means getting rid of Simone. Now, she basically says, well, I can give you this video in exchange for asking your men to stand down. And from there, she's actually shocked to learn that Hunter can walk again. And they pretty much discuss the situation of, yeah, remember when you told me about Kyle getting Valium out of the bathroom? It was some sort of like poison to keep me from walking. So yeah, that pretty much solidified that Priscilla is helping out Hunter. So, you know, that strengthened their bond. And he's like, yeah, I'll tell you everything I know. How about we go down to the kitchen, you make me a sandwich. Make one from Jason too? Hell no. It's like, come on, you see how grumpy he is. He's hungry. Now, after that, Richard is in the kitchen, but he gets a call from Nancy, who sent him. She sent a video. Now, he's like, what the? And she's like, that's all your stuff. Now, I don't know if she burned it or if she just threw it out of the house. But she's basically giving the ultimatum of, you pay these bills, you pay the mortgage on the first, or I'm going to snitch. I'm going to tell the cops, and, you know, they'll arrest you. Like, well, do what you got to do, Nancy. Damn. It's like, she just goes full on gangster, like she a pimp, and Richard is a hoe. And then Sharon comes in like, Miss Nancy, is everything okay? It's like, I never heard you talk like that or act like that. She goes in on Sharon's like, does it sound like everything's okay between me and Richard? Like, shouldn't you be somewhere more than Barry? That's what I'm doing right now. Get out of my face, Sharon. And I'm like, oh dang. So poor Sharon goes up to Barry's room, and her and Dale are just in there talking, and she still believes that Kareem had something to do with Barry's murder, but Dale tries to persuade her otherwise. And she does mention how, yeah, it's like they try, and like I told the police about it, they tried to keep me in jail for like a whole day. And look, folks, we talk about Sisters and the pacing of that being slow as heck this season, but I forgot the Oval is, wow, it has really, really, really been moving slow for the past, well, this isn't new, but in hindsight, I'm like, wow, because Sharon was not in season 5 at all. And she got arrested towards the end of season 4, and she claimed she was like in jail for like a whole day. Now, I don't know if it was like, I think it's been like maybe 2 or 3 days since she got arrested, but yeah, that's crazy. But Dale, she's like, you know, Miss Nancy really bought you a car? Yeah. You know you can't keep that car, Dale. Oh, but he wants to keep it. And from there, he just regurgitates everything about, you know, Barry dying, the fact that Nancy had an affair with Richard's father, and then Sam walked in on him. Then Richard found his father here that morning, and then killed the dad. And then, why are you telling me this, Dale? It's like, I can't keep it to myself. I just can't be the only one who knows about it. Telling Sharon is one thing. Telling Allan over a tap line is another. And on top of that, it's funny how Dale didn't tell the cops what happened, but he's telling everybody else. And that's just crazy, man. Like, Dale, look. And then Sharon's like, look, I can't stay under this roof with all this drama. I want to go back to my sister's house. What, with all those kids and the baby daddy drama? And I'm thinking to myself, Sharon, it's probably better than staying here. Then on top of this, it's crazy because that just reminded me of how Sharon would always like bed hop. Either she was at Richard and Nancy's house for Barry, or she was over at Kareem's apartment. And it's like, I remember that got on my nerves, like when she would get on Kareem's case, like, let Dale stay there. And I'm like, you're not paying rent at anybody's place. I mean, I remember that she used to help out with Richard and Nancy because over at that house, Richard worked at the White House, Sharon worked at the pharmacy, and they were the only two who were working. Barry didn't have a job, but he was like I guess you could say, he'd do odd jobs around the neighborhood for money, but that was it. So yeah, it was just crazy to me how she would like boss people around. Like who are you? Man, they could kick you out in a heartbeat. Like, shut up, Sharon. But Dale's like, look, don't leave me here alone. It's like, look, I don't care. I mean, I'll keep this car, but she needs to like take me to, if she wants me to take her to the store, heck, if I need to take her to like a, you know, mental asylum every now and then, I'll do it, but I'm keeping that car. And I'm like, nah, that's just, it is in your name. What they ought to do, Sharon doesn't even want to get in that car. Sharon, let Dale drop you off at your sister's house, and Dale, you just drive off into the sunset because DC is too crazy, and being under this roof after what went down earlier that morning, you need to get the hell out. Get out. Get out. Now, Hunter is talking to Jason while Agent Isaac is looking out of the window with binoculars, just trying to get a gauge of what's going on outside in terms of what's, moving and whatnot. Because remember, the press conference was allegedly canceled, and earlier on in the Secret Service camera room and whatnot, where they monitor everything and where people check in and out of the White House, Max is talking with Alonzo because press is roaming around. Apparently, they didn't get the memo that the conference was canceled, and Max and Alonzo agree to meet up later to discuss things, off the clock and outside of the White House. And then from there, Max and Sam have a brief conversation because of the fact that everything that went down earlier, they're just trying their best to keep it under wraps. Then Priscilla comes in briefly and asks Sam to, scram so they can talk. And based off what was happening earlier in the episode, when Jason felt some kind of way when his dad asked to speak with Priscilla alone, well, I want to speak with Sam alone. Why do you want to speak to Sam? Well, you said that he helped, protect me and whatnot, so I want to talk to Sam. Now, she relays this information to Max because I don't know if maybe I misinterpreted the scene. I don't know if this is Priscilla just yet again not wanting to talk to Sam directly, which is stupid but apparently he wants to arrange it where Jason and Sam have a conversation together, and maybe Sam can get some information from him that way and they can use it. And from there, Max just issues another warning to Priscilla about be careful when you go up there. It's like, I got this. What'd I tell you, Max? Okay, you got it. You got it. Now, going back up to the residency, Hunter, praises his son for his good work helping, with the tunnels and whatnot. Jason is just so adamant. Look, you had him right there. Why didn't you finish him, huh? Why didn't you finish him? Are they dead? Like, oh, no, they're not dead. Your dad likes old Westerns, and if I wanted to truly hang them and let them die, there would have been different things with the gallows and whatnot. So it's like, well, the human brain, 10 minutes, no oxygen, they're dead. And Agent Isaac's face during this conversation is like, this nigga is crazy. But, he just assures him it's the best way to handle it piece by piece instead of just, removing him off the board altogether. So yet again, he asks Jason to go to his room so he can talk to Agent Isaac by himself. And Jason doesn't want to go, but eventually he does because I feel like, he's probably beginning to lose a little bit of faith in his dad because whenever he's asked to leave the room, he feels like he's being left out of something. But as soon as he leaves, Isaac is like, okay, he has an obsession with death. At first, I thought Hunter was, trying to get rid of Jason because he's grew uncomfortable because maybe he thought about what he saw in the tunnel, which we eventually learned he didn't see anything. But no, this dude is just ignorant to his son, and that's just insane. I mean, at least with the haves and the have-nots, Jim knew about Wyatt's addictions and whatnot and would cover up when he did some crazy stuff. But Hunter is just completely oblivious. Now, oh yeah, that was an interesting dynamic where it was like Catherine was self-aware of what Amanda would do, and Amanda was like Jim's baby, the one he would coddle. And then it was kind of vice versa with the way Wyatt and Catherine's dynamic was compared to Wyatt and Jim. But Isaac describes what was found in like a different path of the tunnel because Jason did guide them through the tunnels, but there was a specific way they went in an area that was kind of like blocked off that they didn't touch because he didn't want them to see it. But apparently there was a ton of porn and he likes to relieve himself in there, so it's probably very sticky in there, and I'll leave it at that. And he says it was very, if you reminded me of like Mr. Winters, like it was very creepy. And Hunter's like, oh gosh, I don't want to hear it anymore, never mind. But apparently, at first they thought there was no way any other agents could figure out how they got in, but I guess Sam and Bobby and Max found how exactly they came through. And it's unclear they found that hidden part where Jason's stash was, but there are different guards blocking the way, so now their method of moving around undetected isn't necessarily undetected anymore. But Hunter's like, you know what, I got to do something, but there are a couple pieces in place that I need before we make our next move. Now, we're about to finish up the review here. There are a couple more scenes left. Eli and Victoria wake up in the infirmary, and Victoria was just in full effect. Like, she's like, where am I? What's going on? Wait, what is she doing here? In reference to Simone. It's like, why am I wearing this gown? I only wear Versace. Where are my clothes? She just goes on a whole rant, and then she gets up and she's coughing the whole time. Because remember, of course, they had those tubes in their throats and whatnot for, to help them breathe and get oxygen back to their brain. But they both seemingly make a full-on recovery. And Eli is just like, wait, what's he doing in here? Bobby's like, I'm just doing my job, sir. Give me Sam. So Bobby leaves. And after Victoria leaves, Eli tells Simone that Hunter was the one that did this to him. And it's like, look, I got to leave the Oval right now. I got to go to the Oval right now. So Sam comes in. And even though Simone wants him to recover, he's like, I got to get back to the Oval right now. So Sam and Simone, help him up, and then they make their way to the Oval. Now, Dale calls Allan again, and he's like, wait, are we ever going to meet up to talk? He's like, what are we going to talk about, Dale? So I can tell you some important information. Maybe it can help. So Kyle actually walks in mid-conversation and just warns Allan yet again, dangerous territory, Allan. Then he goes to the Oval to talk with Kyle. Kyle leaves talking with Donald, basically warning him about the Allan kid. It's like, look, he's talking with somebody about some information. It's like, look, I trust him, okay? Well, I don't trust anybody, but I got my eye on him, okay? And look, I got one plan to set in motion that will make sure Allan will never speak to anybody. It's like, you like him? Yeah, I do. He's not gay, right? He's never going to go for this. Like, whatever. Well, when I'm done with him, then, he'll be off the board completely. So these two get freaky deaky. I'm not going to describe it, but in the midst of Kyle getting back shots, Sam, Simone, and Eli walk in like, what the? And then that's the end of the episode. So yeah, pretty good episode. But that's really all I have. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next video.